you wonder where finds the control feeling.
I'm sure that.
I came back to let you know they got a thing for you, and they ain't letting go. My friend just wonder what is wrong with you, 'cause you're in a daze of bank slavery. I came back to let you know they got a thing for you, and they ain't letting go.
Dude, I'm gonna talk about central banking.
People go around the world for slaves for years, but they never find people stupid enough to vote for it. What you won't
do for control. They'll do everything, but they ain't letting go. When you talk about lockdowns and banking,
in this world, it's only you
and your ignorance that you get from TV. Oh, you know what?
My friends wonder what is wrong with the families, 'cause they're in a daze of cuckoo virus.
Well, the Japanese central banking is what I'm talking about.
No,
Thing for humans, and they ain't letting go. Come on, everybody. They can't find what they need you to do for them. What you won't do. Y'all know Bobby Caldwell? Do for control. They'll do everything, but they ain't letting go. Debt central banking, the Japanese central banking system after World War II. I want to touch on that. There is a clutch that clutches humanity. But I have to go back to one of my posts this morning. Good morning, everybody. All right, I'm done singing. Let me. No, I'm not. I'm not done. What they'll do for you, they don't ever do nothing. But 1970. Don't be a happy slave, please. We're trying to save you. Don't be stupid and ignorant. All you just did is trade one psychopath for another. You're still a slave on the plantation. All right. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm done. You can share it now if you want. Good morning, everybody. Boy, what a weekend, huh? What a weekend. Can y'all do me a favor? Those of y'all who still believe in this nonsense, please stop looking at my face like you did me a favor getting Donald Trump out of office. Can you please not do that? Don't do that. Don't. I don't know what is wrong with you liberal special people. Love you to death, but I don't even know. They get just like a sense of empowerment because they announced that Jivin Bowden is the president of the United States Corporation of the slave plantation and the happy. You know we still on a slave plantation. You know we're owned by global bankers and debt and monetary currency. Monetary currency, I don't know what that means. Ooh, this is a quote. I gotta post this real quick. Because I don't think the animation and I don't think the comments even working yet. I need to get YouTube in here. Wow, look at this. To fundamentally change the system, you need a crisis. Ooh. I love stuff like this. I love it. I was watching a documentary this morning about the Japanese central banking system, and it made very clear it's not just Central America, Africa, and the other places. We're using central banking and debt to control entire slave plantations of human beings. We'll make a couple statements and we're gonna get going. The YouTube comment. I don't know what's going on with Facebook comments. Am I in Facebook half jail? All right, let's get rid of the dodo. Because we did the extinction thing and moved that. Who was that? There go Beaufont. Marco, good morning. Good morning, Beaufont. And Diane Freehill, you on the road? I guess you're not on the road, so you switched sites on us. Came over here. Facebook kicks me out. Hello. Yes, a problem over there. I don't know what's going on. I don't see the comments. I see people there, but I don't see the comments on the screen. Good morning. So while we wait for Facebook to figure out if it wants to be a part of Save the Planet, everything, and get everything together here. So, so I was watching a bunch of stuff this morning. I was watching the Japan after World War II, which was fantastic. The things that the United States Incorporated did for the Japanese was phenomenal. They love them Japanese people. They love the United States Incorporated does not love Americans, but they damn sure love the Japanese for the moment. They gave them the land back. They had a great land reform after World War II to break the oligarchs in Japan. Keep the oligarchs in America, but break the oligarchs in Japan. And they gave the land back to the people. Their central banks were printing money over there. They installed their central bank, but they were printing money for the people to bring back productivity, manufacturing, all this stuff. And there was a boom. They called it the magical Japanese economy. It failed later as designed because the central bank set it up. It was interesting. It was a good example of what happens when you actually give people the land back and help them to help themselves. Amazing things happen. So anyway, I was watching that documentary and someone made a statement. I don't know who made the quote, but I gotta put it right here. The fundamental change of system, you need a crisis. Crisis! So I gotta post this. And this is true, right? It's like an engine. We were talking about an engine not too long ago, right? Like, in order to fix an engine, you gotta turn it off. You gotta turn it off, and you take out the gas engine, put in a new corrupt engine, or make some fixes on it. But to fundamentally change it, you gotta turn it off. And so, this was a powerful quote. To change a system fundamentally, you need a crisis. And I was thinking about right now. And if you lie really well, you can convince uninformed people that the changes will be for them. If you can convince them that the change is going to be for them, they will cheer that crisis. They'll cheer the crisis. They'll do whatever you. Which was funny to me, because now a lot of my friends, get the whole Save the World was getting Donald Trump out. Now they want to take their masks off. And the pharmaceutical industry ain't going for that. Somebody got played. I ain't going for that. No, they tasted blood. Like I did a video this weekend, which is what I rarely do. They tasted blood. Well, you walked around with that face diaper advertisement for "come vaccinate me," and coming. No, they taste that blood like a shark. Pharmaceutical industry will be doing it. Uh-oh. Your video can't be, wait a minute, this looks bad. What's this? I didn't even read it yet. Look at this. Ooh, I'm in trouble. What'd I do? Look at that right there. Your video is blocked and can't be viewed in 249 locations. Only you can see this message. Nah, that's not true, Facebook, because I just showed it to everybody. What happened? Your video was blocked. I don't even know what I did. They didn't tell me yet. I guess they tell me later. Maybe that's why the Facebook comments aren't working. Good morning, everybody. Ooh, my video was blocked. What happened? I did something. Now, everybody in the morning feeling after voting today. Yeah, well, everybody feels good after voting, Christine. Maybe that's it. I was going to talk about central banking today. I've been posting on it all morning. It looks like that is not popular. Nope, solutions ain't popular. The human race has a clutch. It's called central banking and debt-based systems. We need to get rid of it. I'll show you, you know what, I'm gonna go through my posts this morning. Just because y'all blocked me in 249 locations. This is crazy. Is everybody on YouTube now? Is Facebook? No, I see it. I see my video. It's on Facebook, isn't it? People were commenting. I don't know. Well, so I had an engine example this morning. I was going to talk about how central banks are a clutch. Monetary systems, the IMF, that's a clutch on the human race. The human race is an infinite innovation engine. It's just going to continue to make innovations to create more freedom because we don't like work. We don't like to be enslaved. We like to create innovations. And so we're going to keep making innovations. We're going to continue to make innovations, and you need to be able to clutch that. We are a species that can't stop creating stuff, and we got a sun, we got gravity, we got magnets I'm going to talk about, and the Hutchinson effect. But we keep making things for freedom. We want to be free. We want to make our lives easier. And so if you want to control a planet with human beings and a sun and all of this great stuff, you have to figure out a way to clutch them like an engine, right? We can do infinite RPMs with this engine, but you gotta clutch it, you gotta choke it, you gotta figure out a way to stop the human race from moving forward infinitely, because that's what we need to do. That's what we like to do. All right, I'm gonna see. Let me see if did they send me a message? No, it just says that I'm live on Facebook. So maybe it's being displayed in Zimbabwe. It's being displayed in on the left side of the mountains in the Ural Mountains. And where else is my video allowed to be displayed? Wait a minute. Now this might change, but I need to know why I'm blocked. Why am I blocked? Call Facebook, give me a message, give me something. I am curious. All I want to do is talk about central banking. Or are you just trying to tell me that's what I'm not supposed to be talking about? Usually that's how I figure things out. I figure out how the system works by what they block. 16 minutes ago. Moving up. Nope, just not saying nothing. You just blocked me, girl. That's an act of supremacy. All right, so I guess no Facebook comments today. So everybody, look, damn it, everybody's down there. The image is 1,000 times bigger here on Facebook. Really, was Al77 you on YouTube? Facebook doesn't allow to comment. Dang it, wow, really? They didn't elect the lesser of two evils, they merely rebranded. Yes, they did. They didn't change the tank bow font. They didn't end slavery. They just got picked a new slave master. We still got central banking, which means there is no political system. All right, well, I'm gonna go through my post from this morning then. Because if I'm being blocked right now, then that means that I posted something of some significance. All right, let's do this. Let's send the Facebook Live comments to the back. I don't even know. I have no idea what just happened. Let's change the music. Maybe Facebook comments will come back. We're gonna shift those back. YouTube is where it's at. I guess you can go to YouTube, but maybe, or Facebook, maybe you just can't comment. All right, here you go. To the back, to the back, to the back, to the back. Good morning, everybody. Y'all have a good weekend. I had a great weekend. Fantastic, fantabulous, fantastic. Ooh, do I have some perspectives? I'm not even sure which one I can share. I ran into a veteran. I ran into an ex-Marine Corps person. I had very interesting perspectives. But I don't think we're gonna be able to do that. All right, so that, let's change the music and we'll just get started. I can read Facebook comments if they're still there, but I'm in some kind of prison for something. Change the audio. Good morning, everybody. Everybody. Shave my face too. Shave my face. I'm an authentic person. Authentic person. Had to do a video this week and explain the election, how I see it, what just happened. Maybe that's why I'm in trouble. I have no idea. Good morning, everybody. All right, so we don't need that there. I wanted Jekyll Island. That's what I wanted. Jekyll Island. Central banks control the world. As long as your country has a central bank, you do not have a political system. That's probably why I'm in trouble. You have no control over yourself. These are the people who own the slave plantation. Yes, if this is not learning software, but a person at Facebook that's blocking me, I'm gonna continue on with it. So just go ahead and delete my page today. I'm fine with that. I don't give two damns. I'm part of the human race. And if the issue is we're talking about real problems and real solutions, then this should be the last broadcast, because I ain't gonna quit. When it's all done and said for, we're gonna come for you anyway. So hopefully you change your mind and decide to rejoin the human race. So, like a clutch in a car, right? We are a clutched earth. Another thing I was thinking about free energy devices and learning software. I got into a great discussion this weekend with another engineer who works on AI. I didn't play with AI, I played with learning software. And I was thinking about this morning, I was watching a video about the Hutchinson effect and magnets and free energy. Of course, the significance of free energy means that you don't need to be a slave on the plantation anymore, that the human race is free, that automation can do all the work, and human beings can go be humans, live their life. Once again, that's a clutch as well. So with the versions of learning software I work with, trying infinite solutions, running loops, different configurations. You can create a model for a perpetual motion device, as an example. A lot of human beings say they create perpetual motion devices, then they disappear. There's a reason why. So with the learning software that I used to use, it makes actually perfectly good sense. You're just trying different configurations of magnets. Given gravity, the computation for gravity and the power of the magnets, the learning software can just create different virtual perpetual machines to make one that actually will never stop, just utilizing gravity. And learning software by now, because I know people in universities have done this. I've never done it. I know they've had to do it, like hypothetically, but reality. Learning software has probably created millions of perpetual motion machines, millions of free-ish energy machines. There's no such thing as free energy, but free-ish. But every single design they create it makes that person a terrorist. Every single design they create by the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, it would instantly make that person a criminal. That information is secured information. You can't make a new form of energy propulsion because of the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, which is why the fraud on both sides. The climate's always changed, you're never going to stop them, and the government is keeping you on fossil fuels, but preventing you from utilizing free energy devices that were created in the 1940s and probably millions since is insane. And that's another clutch on the human race. But I just thought about that, and it just occurred to me. I was like, it's illogical that because most of the engineers that you see working on perpetual motion devices, they're trying to figure it out under their own power, one person. When you get software to do it, it can spin off multiple processes. It can spin off millions of processes and create millions of models to actually create a perpetual energy machine. But they're all criminalized, every last one of them. You actually do that, you're sitting in college right now, they'll put you in Guantanamo. That's how I know the whole debate is fake. But anyway, that's one point. The music may be. How about the Bangles? What are we talking about, Jonathan? No one can comment on Facebook profile. Oh, okay, is that what's going on? I can see you on Facebook, but not comment. Yes, Christine, I'm being naughty. Let's look and see if we can find out why. Because I was looking at Japan after World War II, and it was phenomenal just to see how things work, how they're controlling everybody. I have no interest in the election. Somebody's, well, report him because he's not happy Joe Biden won. I really don't care about your election, and y'all cheated anyway. So, and you didn't. But you know what? I give you credit. I give y'all credit that y'all cheated like thugs. I give you that. It was obvious in the public domain, and they just didn't give two dams. That you had people in their own party reporting them, say they like these people are cheating. There's a guy in Philly. He was on the DNC side, election security, and he was just like, they kicked me out of the room. Let me ask you a question. What happens when your own political party and your security for counting votes or whatever, and they kick you out the room? What do you think they doing? Everybody on this planet knows who won that election. The only people who don't are the people who are convinced that the fundamental change that's coming out of this crisis is in their benefit, and it's not. They're playing two sides of the same coin. You are a slave plantation. They have choked your species. Please grow up, catch a clue. But it doesn't really matter, because no matter who wins, they still control the planet. The human race is an infinite RPM innovation engine. Thus, 0.01% put banks, debt, IMF clutches to keep its supremacy. And this is a fact. Japan, I posted a documentary. Actually, I posted it on my website. I posted it on my page, and I posted it over here. It was fantastic. Y'all should listen to it. Like, they locked them down. There's no question who controls this planet. There's no question that all conflicts are ignorant. Every single social conflict is ignorant of what is actually happening. Show me a nation, and a global current. Show me a nation in a global economy with a central bank, and I'll show you a nation with no real government. Fact. If you are in a global economy and you have a central bank printing your money, that central bank is a slave to the global banks, the IMF, the currency manipulators and currency speculators, the people who actually own things. We own nothing. And the government has to get money from them. The government can't do anything without the bank. So that bank, that central bank, will tell the government exactly what it's going to do, when it's going to do, how it's going to do it, when to get off, and why. You don't have a political system. You have a scam. You have an illusion of control. That's why we're at Jekyll Island this morning. They did it to Japan. They do it to everybody else. One with no real power. Right, you have a government, one with no real power, and its political system is worth feces. Exactly. That's why I have no interest. No interest in it. But y'all can't hear me though. People obviously can't hear me. They can't comment either. Because I like to say I just talk about solutions. I have no interest in elections. I like solutions. I have no interest. Election is useful as well, I was about to say it. That rhymes with something else. But that's how we started out with Bobby Caldwell this morning, because what they won't do for control. They'll try everything, but they won't give up. They won't give up. Oh yeah, the first shutdown. They say, hey, y'all see this one might want to be the one that got me in trouble. Because the first lockdown, it didn't break the global economy. I was in a great conversation. Ooh, who was that? That was Kati. Great conversation. Yeah, I'm probably getting her in trouble because she's in a country on lockdown right now. And she made a very valid, powerful point. She said, yeah, you're definitely going to have another lockdown because they haven't broken the global economy yet. They haven't broken the people. And that is the goal. You can't get people to accept a new form of slavery till you break them down. And then they'll put the shackles on themselves. Right? Some people are still out there playing cuckoo virus, and that's not what's going on, obviously, because cases going up. Death's going down. In fact, death might be on a zero thing now in most countries, in most places, which means that you got herd immunity. That means that you broke it. Good job, everybody. You eating your bananas. You have an immune system for a reason. That's called science, not science. The next one, yeah, they're not going to miss the mark on the next one. That's why I say the second one is permanent. They're going to shut everything down until they've finally broken everything. Once everything is broken, then they'll get their way. Then they'll get their new system. Then they'll get people strapping shackles to their kids and each other. And then some people still playing cuckoo virus. But boggles my mind. Government. It's a group of supremacists that write laws making our lives harder so we labor more efficiently to earn more money, taking more money out of the mouths of those with lesser privilege than what we have. People. People we have no real conflicts with. That's my definition of government. I'm done with it. I'm done with the whole idea. Go ahead, delete my channel today. I dare you. I don't really give a damn. Done with it. I'm done being a slave. I'm done hurting the people underneath me. I'm done with the criminal friends and families, people colluding with demons and Basil Bob and Bell and hell, convincing themselves it's the least of the evil. There's no least of the evil. It is a system that makes you do evil things. It's a sinful system that's eating itself. And it convinced you it's a good idea for you to consume flesh from animals through tissue and infants. That's what I was telling my brother this morning. I love my brother to death. He's just as foolish as the day is long now. And I said, well, how do you know it's nothing in those things that don't help people, that they're going to force on the global population? I said, how do I know there are things that don't help? Because we grew up in the same church. We went to the same church. We read the same scriptures. And what did it say? That you're not supposed to consume flesh of human beings. There's one product that has indemnity. You cannot sue them if they give you their product and you die. And it has infant tissue in it. You are consuming infant tissue. It makes you a cannibal to even have that thing injected in your bloodstream. Besides the fact where HIV came from. Semi-immune deficiency. The problem is people don't do their research. They run their mouths. They don't do their research. God didn't like it the first time. I'm quite convinced whatever God is ain't gonna like it this time. God does not like people changing the DNA of his experiments. He's gonna wash he said we're gonna wash all the way with water this time. He's gonna use fire or something. Do not change your DNA for a criminal disease management system. That's just the stupidest thing that you could do. All right, here we go. After World War II, governing corporations. All right, they passed the Land Restoration Act to empower the Japanese citizens, plus break the crony oligarchs in power over them. Good old lucky Japanese. Why? Because the U.S. Incorporated gave more damns about them because they had issue with the government and they wanted to empower the people. They empowered the people, and it became a time of great abundance for the Japanese people, because if you lived on the land, you owned the land. They gave it back, and that's how they broke the Japanese government. They broke the oligarchs and the landowners and robber barons. They took the banking system and they started empowering people, not empowering them 0.01%. Let me know when your government's talking wealth redistribution for you. Let me know when your government's trying to help out people that you push to the bottom. People who actually can provide for themselves better than what a criminal government can. But y'all keep celebrating. Keep celebrating. It's good to know who not to be around when the hammer drops. Oh yeah, look, this was a post. This is an old post of mine. Gerard from 2018. He posted this. I don't know. Y'all tell me which post got me in trouble. Said every important fight starts with honesty, thus integrity. This is what I said in 2018, 2 years ago. I was ignorant as hell. I was 2 years more ignorant than I am today. Every important fight starts with honesty, thus integrity. It doesn't start on lies and cheating. Never politics. No important discussions ever talk with Rob Peter to pay Paul. No important discussion ever starts with democracy, a patriarchal concept. If I'm stronger than you, what I do is right to you. Mob rule. Right. Okay. I mess up some words intentionally. Sometimes not. But yeah. So the real problems aren't solvable by those who deal in apathy. Real problems will never be solved by those who rob Peter to pay Paul. So I got to co-sign this one. This is what I do with my old posts when they give me these things. That's why Facebook get me in trouble for stuff that you sent to me that I posted so I could repost. And I said, I'm Gerard 2020. I still approve this message. I still approve of this message. Gerard 2018 was dumb on a lot of things. He was not dumb on this. We are all ignorant. He was ignorant on that. He's 2 years more understanding of how the world actually works, and more so even. Gerard back then knew what was going on. He didn't know the whys and hows. He doesn't know more about the whys and hows of the world and how it works, which is why you'll never get me voting for hell. You'll never get me voting for no least of the evils. I'm trying to figure out how the hell do I take my consent back in different ways. Hang on. Let me get off of Facebook. Because the comment section is dead. They're only posting the video on an island in the Caribbean that has about 5 people that live on it. Let me go to YouTube. It was inevitable. They're trying to prevent something, right? Everything is about control, and this is what I was talking to this ex-Marine about today. You know, and I hit him in a great discussion. You know, I started out when I was talking to my military folks is, you know, if you want to support the troops, you talk to the veterans. That's it. If you want to support the troops, you never listen to politicians, you talk to the veterans. And this is one veteran. Yeah, he ain't going for it. None of them are. None of them are. That's why you got to get people believing and going along with the crisis. If they think they can get away with another lock, they're going to do another lock. If they think that people are going to stand up and realize that they're the ones who have the power, they're not going to try it. They're only going to do what they know will get away with. And if they accidentally do something that makes it obvious to people that the emperor has no clothes, the world will never go back to those who control it centrally. And so they're not going to try that. I don't think they're going to. Oh! Not my slavery device. Hold on. I'm trying to go to YouTube so I can see the comments. Because the comments here, after they scroll up, they're gone. Yeah, I don't think they're going to try it. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to try a lock if people are going to say no. I don't think they're scared of locking most parts of Europe. I think they're very scared of locking America for some very significant reasons. Americans are emotional, ignorant bunch. That's what we are. But if you push us too hard and you show Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, Troops Lives Matter, and all the lives matter, the left, the right, the blacks, the Democrats, if you give them a greater foe, you give them a greater enemy, their history is coming together. And the last thing they want is people coming together. So if they get an idea and hints that nobody's going for another lock, then it's not going to happen. All right. They don't want to give up their control. There we go. I can go back and see the old comments. What is this? Oh yeah, maybe this is the one that got me in trouble. 90% of what the DNC and GOP do is the same. It is the same. You have no business clapping in no damn street. It don't matter. Donald Trump, Donald Simpson, Joe Jivin Bowden, Kamala Harris, Joe Camel is the president. Does not matter. The banks own everything. They control everything, and people above them control them. So it doesn't matter. And the only, because it's all lobbied, all that stuff is lobbied away. And it's for the same industries. Both corporations work within a criminal corporation, and they all work for the same industry. So don't try to convince anybody that politicians do anything different. They don't. There's only probably about a 10% slight temporary difference. And that's just in the rights that no industry has purchased yet. Smaller industries, right? The big industries already purchased 90% of them. So that's the only difference, is what they haven't sold you out on. It's the system. It's not the politician's problem, it's us. Right, and this is about the learning software. You know, logically learning software using magnetism plus gravity in infinite configurations has created millions of perpetual free-ish energy machines, no question about it. But as soon as they do, they will put you in Guantanamo. All right, if you're still talking about fossil fuel called climate change because your government put you on that initiative, you're a fraud. Okay? And if you still don't see the climate, it's not changing. It always changes. Climate same is not a thing. Climate same is not scientific. The climate is always supposed to change. People texted me. It was gracious. I'm doing a live stream. I'm trying to get deleted off of social media. Stop it. Stop it. Here we go. No, I'm not trying to get deleted off social media. It's just you get tired of it. You get put in that who actually says truthful things. I can't even look at you. You're an effing worse than a sheep. Yeah, ooh, yeah. That's actually, no, it's a dog. You can't see the whole thing. It's a dog. So like the dog's owner, he's looking at his owner like, I can't even look at you, man. We used to herd sheep. I'm not gonna let a sheep lead me around. But this is what that quote who came from the documentary is deep in, that you can't have a fundamental change without a crisis. But you got to get people to go along with the crisis who think that the fundamental change is going to be for them. And let me ask you a question. When was the last time the banks did something for you? When's the last time your government did something for you? When's your last? And this is why I made the post earlier. All they do is make my life hard. Since I've been here, the only thing they've done is make my life hard to make me more efficient at making more money, to take it from people who I've never met, who I have no conflict with, because I have to work more efficient to survive. And that's insanity. That's an insane system. I don't know what the hell is going on. Yeah, so Facebook is kicking people out. You know what? Hold on, let me pause. Oh, there was good CrossTalk this morning. Hopefully y'all watched that. Great, fantastic CrossTalk this morning. I actually want to look at that a little bit. They were talking about the election. Okay, so it's just something creepy going on Facebook. Everybody's saying, make me watch a cuckoo virus video at work. Yeah, Diane, that's what they're supposed to. They got to get everybody on that narrative. Yes, Kamala married a vac guy. Oh, shit, did she? Then that makes perfectly good sense. That was the video I did this weekend, Christine. I was just saying, you know what's coming outside of people who saw this coming for a long time, just by simply looking at the resumes of the people they select to be in office. You know what she's good at. I said that this weekend. She's good at keeping people in lock somethings, lockdowns, and hiding evidence, keeping the DNA evidence to let innocent people out of prison. If you get somebody that dark in office, you can do a lot of dark things. So it makes perfectly good sense. But yeah, the vac thing, I can't go for that, Christine. I can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. That's a song from the 80s. You want my body, now you want my soul. Oh my goodness, Christine, that makes sense. Go on, forget about it. I'ma say no, cause I'm not in the film. I can't go for that. You can't have my soul. You can take my body. You're not gonna take my soul. You can kill me all you want, but I ain't going for that. No. You will not be changing my DNA from one method, and you will not be putting any animal tissue or infant tissue in my body. Hell no. Ever. All right. I thought it was my account that's not letting me comment on your Facebook cast. No, Bullhorns is me. It actually should be you, to be honest with you. It should be you. It should be Harsh and Jonathan and anybody else playing with that damn software. Did y'all see the software? These people. What is wrong with these people? Yeah, you know what? They make the end of the world when we all about to die funny as hell. Apparently, they got this software now where you can put somebody's face on the video character. And it's probably learning software, AI, something like that. And everybody, I'm not even playing with the tool. And so they got Harsh's face. So they're taking people's faces and they're putting on videos. That is fun. That's fun. I'm not gonna mess with it though. All right, let me see. No one can comment on Facebook. Oh, you know what? I'm curious. So what I can see, how many people, see if anybody is actually on Facebook. Because it looks like everybody jumped over to YouTube, or some people did. Nope, it says 0 on Facebook. Nobody's there. So nope, that's dead. That's done. I'm gonna stop it and see what happens. I'm gonna stop it. I'm curious about something. I want to see if give it a minute and just restart it. Yes, tell us. Yesterday was powerful. That video crucial too. Yeah, Christine, I didn't say everything that I wanted to say because I had to go, had slavery, and I had a few other things that I wanted to say that I probably should start making notes, like just looking at what's happening. Because that's the other thing we were starting to talk about was that can happen sometimes. No. I meant to stop. I wanted to stop Facebook and I stopped YouTube, but I stopped YouTube. YouTube will start back up. We'll see if we pick up where I left off, and then we'll start Facebook again and see what happens. I don't know why that's funny. I laugh at everything though. Go find out kicked off of Facebook for looking up kidnapping. What? Jekyll Island is beautiful. Squirrels beg for food. Yes, it is, Rebecca Costello, but I'm curious about that. Like, how did it get the name Jekyll Island? Is it from Jekyll and Hyde? Did they know they're going to pull this scam? Anybody who has not read the Creature from Jekyll Island, you need to go read that so you know how the world actually works. That's the clutch that's on the human race. They do it in every single country. Yes, Bullhorns, it gets worse day by day. The censoring. It does, Christine, because people are starting to wake up. And that's a great thing too, actually, Christine. That's a good example that things are changing. You know, you only burn books when you're scared. Right? That's why they burned the Library of Alexandria. That's why they had book burnings. When they have book burnings or bit burnings, whatever you want to call them, that means that something effective is happening. That's a good thing. It's a fantastic thing that they're censoring more because it means that people are starting to wake up and they're scared. If they weren't censoring, we're useless. We're not saying anything important. But that's what yesterday's video was about. If y'all didn't, anyone who didn't watch it or they deleted it, it was just about, you know, it doesn't really matter who the president is. Never's matter. Oh, look, 6 on Facebook. Maybe something changed. Change my evil ways. Hang on, let me see if I can bring the comments back in. Change my evil ways. Somebody go over to Facebook, tell me if it works. They cheat every election, both sides. They do, Bullhorns, which was funny to me. I was thinking about that earlier. And because I was like, they cheated. Because the other side was like, they cheated. And I was like, yeah, it was obvious. It was thug life. They did it boldly, Bullhorns. They did it right, though. They cheated right in public daylight. My issue, if you're going to go steal something, don't be like sneaky about it. Just go on and do it. Go on and do it. Be bold about it. They just did it in the public domain. They don't care. But I was thinking about it, the way you said it, which was, but what election has ever been honest? Ever? What election has ever been fair? And I don't think any ever have. I seriously doubt that. Oh, look, Facebook is back. Look at that. Ooh, we beat Facebook. We beat the algorithm. I have no idea why I would say that because we ain't beat no damn algorithm. It just, they must have had software that hit it when it first came on and now it's back going. Hang on, let me go over to Facebook, make sure that it's public, because I do everything public. I don't do nothing in secrecy. Nothing in secrecy. If you're gonna go, growing up, Bullhorns, we had a saying in the Washington D.C. area. It was called "Go Hard." If you're gonna go hard. If you're gonna steal something, go steal it. Go hard. If you're gonna steal it, Don't play with it. Just go on and do it. Don't hide it. Be sneaky and secretive about it. Just do it in everybody's face. I don't know if that's a new video or the old video, but it looks like Facebook is right back up. Although it's good that they do that too, because it spreads people around, and that's what y'all need to be doing. Don't get trapped into one platform. You need to move around. You got to try new things. Good idea to try new things. Don't get locked in your evil ways, because if you do, then they can get everybody in one spot. You need to be on Reddit. You should be on YouTube. You should be on BitChute. You should be all around. Say truth anywhere you can. Say truth, read truth, share truth anywhere you can. We're coming to the end of the world, people, and not a lot of people understand what's going on. That's why I use the word ignorant. You know, people get upset with that, but it's just reality. It's a good thing to be ignorant. I call myself ignorant all the time because there's a lot of things that I don't know. It's okay to be ignorant about central banking. It's okay to be ignorant in thinking the political system is where it's at. It's okay to think that you still got a republic. It's okay to think that President Grant is not the president. The reality is President Grant's still the president of the republic. Because, you know, I was saying the pledge to myself this morning. You know how the pledge in my country goes? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. And I've been saying that since I was a kid, to the flag and to the republic for which it stands. Okay, the republic ended in 1871. The last president was President Grant. That is still the president of the United States. The states, not the United States Incorporated, that they created in 1871. Something about under God, indivisible, for liberty, justice for all. And under God, that part means you don't get to be a Nephilim. It means you can't invoke and engage in pharmacopoeia, pharmacia. You can't take infant tissue and put it in your veins. You can't put animal tissue in your veins. Damn it, you can't even have headache medicine. It said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be your food. All right. So don't be ignorant. If your body has trouble dealing with flus, viruses, colds, or the common colds, it means you were eating the wrong food. You need to eat more bananas. Okay. Eat bananas, eat naturally. When you get the sniffles and boogers and all that snot bubble and all that stuff, congestion, that means you're not taking care of your temple. Take care of your temple. Oh, and I had a great view. I'm getting all these good discussions. And then we were talking about this weekend. So you're an anti-vaxxer. It's like, no, actually, I'm not. I really don't care if y'all worship with Baal, Beelzebub, and Bibbly Bop Boo and all of that. I don't really care if y'all want to get down with the demons and engage in consuming flesh of other human beings through your veins. I really don't care. I just think that whatever that you have has to work. That's all. You can't have indemnity. If you create something and it hurts somebody and kills somebody, they need to be able to sue you. Because you got other people. You got people born with birth defects. You got people got conditions, autoimmune conditions and things like that. And a lot of them to no fault of their own. They just grew up in a nation. They thought they had a government, and they were poisoned. I'm not going to turn my back on those people. I think the pharmaceutical industry should be creating cures, not more means of making profit. So if you're going to have these shots, they got to work. If it says headache on it, got to get rid of a headache. If it says it's a shot for the shingles, then it needs to work. So I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just, hey, it's never going to work if we continue to allow them to criminally produce things that they cannot be sued for, and in mass. Quantity over quality. See, they're doing quantity. They want to mass vaccinate everybody instead of focus on quality and actually save grandma. You know, and that was the other discussion. That's what people need to do. I talk to people all the time, and I think y'all should really be talking to people, because now we're coming to the end. All they see are extreme positions, and there are no important extreme positions. You want to be smart and approach this in a smart way, empathetic way, love, kindness, all that delicious stuff. There you go. Look at that. Look, Facebook is back. Oh, now I'm here. Yes, you are there, Hogo. True knowledge is knowing the extent of one's own ignorance. Ooh, thank you, Michael Petrakis. You always say deep stuff. If y'all don't follow Michael Petrakis, y'all should follow him. But I tell you this, Michael, I would never know the extent of my ignorance. Oh, it's the gift that keeps giving, brother. I'm honest with people. Yeah, I'll never know the extent, because there's always something silly and stupid that's happening. I had to think about this weekend. There's always something that happens, and I just sit there and like, yep, I did that. Yep, that was me. Want to blame it on somebody else, but nope, that damn sure looked like me in the mirror. I guess that was me. But we all do silly stuff. We do ignorant stuff. Some of us are honest with that, and some of us have, we have to pretend like we're right. Like we're in leadership, we're in politics, we're teachers or professors or whatever. And the smart ones are like, you know what, I don't know, but here's what I do know. You go out and learn how to know more than I do. And I don't know. Mike, I was talking to actually my ex-wife about it. I hate that word. That's a stupid word, by the way. That make no damn sense. If you ever love people, you always love people. If you ever fall out of love with somebody, it means that you never loved them to begin with. Right? You hear what I'm saying? And it's not, we're not talking romantic love. We're saying love. If you love someone, if you ever actually love that person, you will always love that person, period. So we still got a great friendship. Love her new husband, fantastic guy. We used to drink beer and watch my son play baseball. So I was talking to her, what were we talking about? Oh, being wrong, ignorant, right. So we were talking about my kids, right? And I was just like, y'all know me when I talk about my kids. It's like, you know what? If I didn't have them little monsters, I don't know where I'd be. And my oldest son finally let her in on the secret. Which is funny. I got a little bit of trouble like it. They told you first? It's like, yeah, they told me first. That you're going to be a grandfather? Yeah, they told me first. Said, why didn't you tell me? I'm mad. I can show you the text. I was like, have you told you anything that you know that you're going to get in trouble telling you for, possibly? My ex-wife was from New York. Yeah, you have to, you listen. How does that saying go? It's biblical too. It's biblical. It said it's no theory like the fire hot as hell. You piss a woman off, she'll burn the hell out you and everybody in the house and maybe people in the state too as she drives home throwing fire bombs out the car because she didn't fired you because you pissed her off. Don't ever piss off a woman. I don't do it. That's why I stay away from women for the most part. Women are dangerous. I said, of course he didn't tell you. Damn it. He thought you might tell him or say, I had to feel the waters out. Let's tell dad first. Let's disarm dad first. It was actually an interesting discussion because, news of a baby is never bad. News of a creation, a new spiritual creature coming to the planet is never bad. Not too excited about my son being 22, but, having him. But he beat me. Damn it, I think I had him at 21 to 20. I forgot which one. And I'm like, yes. And this is what I was telling her, Mike. I was like, yes, we made upgrades of us. And that's the whole goal. That's my name on Facebook, YouTube is Be the Upgrade. Just be the upgrade. My son beat me, so how am I going to be upset about him at 22? Having one. Be the upgrade. And then I had to send a Misty post to her Michael, and it was just like text message. And it's just like, yeah, we did good. We raised kids at all upgrades of us. All my kids make me look stupid. All my kids make me look ignorant. They all know things I don't know. So I've done my job. I've created better human beings than what I am. That's all I'm supposed to do with them. They can go ahead and kill me now. Where the NSA at? Where you at? Colonize. Y'all come on and get me now. Come on and get me. Because I've already done my job. They're all more enlightened than what I was at their age. So I'm done. Why am I saying that? Who am I talking? Mike? We're talking about ignorance, right? Yeah, I'm ignorant. It's good to be ignorant. It's good to be ignorant and know you're ignorant. Because one, everybody's ignorant. You're supposed to know thyself, so you should know that you're ignorant. And two, ignorance has a cure. Knowing that you're ignorant and getting the information. So if you know you're ignorant, you get the information, you can cure yourself. If you don't know you're ignorant, you'll never cure yourself. So I love being ignorant. Good thing to be ignorant. Willful ignorance and stupidity because you don't want to know, because you convince yourself of what is right first before you do the research. That's willful ignorance. That's being stupid. There's no cure for stupidity. So ignorance is a great thing. Ignorance is bliss. If you actually know you're ignorant and you live like it. Like I'm ignorant to climate change. I didn't know what climate change is. I thought it was cow farts. I had no idea. I think it was the government that banned the creation of any form of energy propulsion other than fossil fuel because they were in bed with big criminal oil companies and they're burning up the planet, destroying things. So they had to create a conflict between climate change deniers and climate change hiding the invention security information And then I learned. It's like, oh, wow, okay, makes some good sense. I listen to the scientists. Well, you're not going to stop climate change anyhow. Okay, you're not going to stop it. No such thing as climate same. And the government's hiding technology. Okay, I get it. And then they released the UFO picture and like, yeah, it's aliens. It's like, that's not aliens. That is your free energy device. You don't want the climate change fighters to know because you don't want them to question you about the technology that they're hiding. And so that's what that thing is flying in the airship. Whew. Okay. Where am I going? Oh, I wanted to take a look at, what's her name? Good morals. Christ Henderson, who has good morals? Not me, not you. Because she's involved in it. They got that software putting people's faces on. Oh, congratulations. Thank you. But that's okay. I'm 29. I am the youngest grandfather on the planet. And I'm going to stay 29 too. Grandpapa, how old are you? I'm 29. Damn it, kid. Anybody ever tell you anything different? Step on their toe, pee on their feet, or do something. Poop in your diaper. I'm not doing diapers though. Don't do diapers. I gave up on that. My son tried to doodle on me. I gave up on that. No. It's when you got to go back to your mama and your daddy. All right. We would do quite well without a federal government for a while, even forever. Yes, Diane. The good thing is we actually don't have one, and we have not been doing good, but we thought that we had one, so that's why we were doing bad. They got rid of the federal government in 1871. This is a corporation that's in bed with other corporations that's for profit that people keep voting for and consenting to. So I have to change that. We would do good without a United States Incorporated or a federal government. I prefer the Republic. The Republic is the federal government. I like them. I think we should dig up Ulysses S. Grant because he is the president, President Grant. I'm a salute you. But if you don't have anything to say, then we're not going to do anything different. All right, let's do this. I need to show you CrossTalk. This is great information right here. It's nutritious and delicious. Now, what's this? Oh, it's commercial. So crazy. Oh, there we go. I don't know what it is. I thought that was a caring thing for children. When I was at the local, when the boys were young, we had one that had a metal strap, and now we got the plastic one. That's good idea. This is probably in trouble too, because this is about the election.
Hello and welcome to CrossTalk, where all things are considered. I'm Peter LaBelle. Biden claims victory, but what about those who voted for Trump? Will they say now, not my president? And is Europe facing another wave of terrorism? Is neoliberal ideology showing signs of exhaustion? To discuss these issues and more, I'm joined by my guest, Glenn Diesen in Oslo. He's an associate professor at the University of Southeastern Norway, as well as author of the upcoming book, Russian Conservatism. And here in Moscow, we have Xavier Moreau. He is the founder of the Center of Political Strategic Analysis, Stratpol. All right, gentlemen, crosstalk rules in effect. That means you can jump in anytime you want, and I always appreciate it. Okay, let's go to Glenn in Oslo. Glenn, what's your major takeaway from this election here? When Joe Biden has been declared president-elect, though he shouldn't be technically because the electors have not sat down and voted for the Electoral College. However, for shorthand, we'll say president-elect. For me, the real focus is what happened with the rest of the election. There was no blue wave. It looks like, as we speak now, the Senate will remain in Republican hands, thus more gridlock, which may not be a bad idea, because if they had won the Senate, we could have seen a number of things that a lot of conservatives would be against. So Trump's days are numbered in the White House, it would appear, but even without Trump, I say there is Trumpism, and the media is not recognizing it, and I think that's a huge mistake. Go ahead, Glenn.
No, I agree. The landslide victory, or the blue wave they refer to, never materialized. And I think the reason why they expected as well was the notion that the election of Trump in 2016 had been a mistake. And this was very problematic because I don't think they ever came to terms with why they lost 2016. Instead, they spent the last 4 years undermining the legitimacy of that election by saying that Trump was merely a president who came to power with the support of the Kremlin and through fake news. So because they never really...
I'm sorry, that's true. Orange man bad! Orange man bad! What are they gonna say now? So you know what? They're gonna say, what do it do? District attorney woman not nice or something. I don't know, it's gonna be a new saying, but yeah, they did do that. They did that since they haven't resolved what happened in 2016 yet, and they're like, not my president, not my president. And I've always done that. I've always, you know, I'm sorry, but they were right. They were right. They were, but they were adjustedly wrong. You know, Ulysses S. Grant is their president, so you know, not my president, not my president. And they're gonna talk about this later. I'm not sure we'll watch the whole thing, but they're gonna talk about, you know, Donald Trump might be out of office, but you still got Trumpers to deal with. And I appreciate the Trumpers. I do, because they check you. That's why I think that y'all should troll back and forth each other. Y'all should just keep doing that boxing match. As long as y'all fighting each other, leave me the hell alone. But no, that's not it. I mean, it's good not to have one centralized, ignorant group in power, but he might be gone. They're not gone. Because you know why? And he says it later. Because you haven't dealt with the problems of where they came from. Like you think Donald Trump voters came from racism, and they didn't. They came from real problems, same where you came from. You just chose a different cult to go along with to not solve the problems. But to talk like they want to solve the problems and funnel that money up to central banks and work with corporations to turn your problems into profitable laws, profitable industries. That's what they always do. So yeah. Scoffing again. Hey, am I scoffing back? What does scoffing even mean? I'm ignorant to scoffing. What does scoffing mean? Somebody give me a definition. Love you, brother. Something. I love you too. It went up. I love you. I don't even know who he is, but I love you. The comment went up. Oh, is it? No, this is YouTube. All right. Heather, that makes me so happy. What are y'all happy about, Christ? Yes, but they still don't get as they get more fearful. Well, everything's done on fear. How does that quote go, Christine? Don't ever make a decision on fear. Every decision you make on fear is a bad idea. Every decision you make on fear will be a bad decision. Don't ever make nothing on fear. But that's how they control everything, is through fear. All right. Yes, I believe that too. Love is internal indeed. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Love is an easy part of a relationship. Living together is entirely Yeah, well, fine. Don't start that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not going to end well. I don't even talk about that today. I'm so happily over it though. Yes, Jeannie, be over it. I'm over central banking. I'm over IMF. I'm over all of that. I'm over elections and stuff. I already don't care about the next election, and I'm already getting excited, giddy on the inside. We're still alive to not vote again. I think the spiritual God, Jesus, love, Muhammad, Buddha, whatever, Shiva, whatever people call them nowadays, I'm pretty sure the universe is quite happy with my decision. I'm gonna stick to it. I don't like the idea of being on either side of a global cult. Eating? But how does that fit in, Bex? Eating? Yes, I'm eating a banana. I'm eating a banana because this is how you save grandma. This is raw, it's organic, and it's natural. I want my immune system to work, so when I get my yearly cleansing of the common colds that come through, and some mutate and modify, get worse year to year, I want to make sure my body can take care of it. So I eat bananas. What's the problem with that? Raw food. That's science. We evolved eating raw food. And so the more raw fruits and vegetables you eat, the more your body functions how it's supposed to. The more bagels and Twinkies and ribs and other breakfast foods that y'all eat with some eggs and bacon, the more you eat of that, the more you're gonna have trouble with the flu. That's why I tell everybody, say, where's your face diaper? Where's your smoothie? Okay, all right, yeah. So you're willing to abuse me, but you're not willing for me to abuse you back. The thing about your abuse is unnatural, unscientific. My abuse is how your body's supposed to work. That's how that works. But I have no idea what you're even talking about. I'm just off in a rant.
Really took a clear survey of why this happened. They never really addressed it, and which is why they thought that this was merely a mistake. And I think this will have firmer ramifications now further, because as they see, they need to come to terms with why people still voted for Trump this time. Why didn't they have a blue wave? And again, this whole idea that the country would again go back to normal and unify.
You might want to do that, because next election, if we're still alive, they're going to vote for Deputy Dog. They're going to find Gerardo Rivera. They're going to find anybody else that will topple your system for the problems that are very real, that they have, that your side does not want to address. The same way you did that with going to find your own little psychopath, to replace theirs. This steadily gets worse. Like, if anybody's like noticing how this is descending into just total, utter ridiculousness and craziness, the next president election is probably going to be Kanye West going up against probably one of his friends on the other side. His wife. Because didn't that happen? I got a pop-up. They said that his wife was excited about Joe Biden and he loves Trump. And now they got to get to, like, oh my God, this is crazy. Kanye West's wife was excited about Biden winning and Kanye wasn't. And it's just like, that's Hollywood. I don't know if you know this or not, but you know that they're actors and they be acting and they do things to get controversial people to tune in. That's how they make money. So now you watch the show, new show, Biden and Trump voter lives together, and then billions of people are watching. So
it was again based on the idea that Trump was a mistake and people would reject him. But again, he turned out to have started an entirely new movement, and even if he's gone, someone will pick it up there and they will continue a lot of the same policies. And I guess the main problem is I don't see any possibility for unification or bringing the country together, because again, the main concern or problem people have with Trump now is saying that the election has been stolen from him, and a large part of his electorate will agree with this. And you can kind of understand why. The media has, far from being fair to him, the tech giants have actively gone out and censored him. None of the media kept really Biden any accountability, and also why.
But be fair. They were thugs about it. Be fair. That's wrong. They did it in broad daylight. They just like, we're gonna cheat. This is what we're gonna do. We'll get together. Listen, every election. All right, it's not funny. I know some of y'all taking this stuff seriously, but it's so obvious. It's so obvious. You can't go. All right, let me stop. I'm not even gonna get down with that. It's obvious what they did.
A lot of the Republicans now, more than 70 million people who voted for Trump, will ask, well, why should we recognize the legitimacy of Biden? For the past 4 years, the Democrats did not recognize the legitimacy of Trump. Even last week, this week already, you had Hillary Clinton come out and still saying now, 4 years in a row, that the election was stolen from her. So this failure to recognize electoral defeat, it did not start with Trump. And so I think they have a lot to do in order to bring in these divisions. And I'll just like make one final point. They do recognize that the country is divided, because you have now at least 8 million more people voting for Trump this time. So how can you explain this? And even blacks and Latinos, all these demographics voting in greater numbers for Trump. And how are you going to explain it? I mean, you have, for Biden saying that, if you're black, you ain't black if you're not voting for me, or was it Al Sharpton arguing that, well, the Cubans aren't really Hispanics, they're more whites, which is a negative thing now, given that they voted for Trump. And again, Michelle Obama, she came out and said, listen, we're in dire need to unify our country. We have to reach out to Trump voters, because we have to recognize that 70% of these people voted to preserve hate, lies, chaos, and division. I mean, how is this the opening statement to unify a country if you say that unification is between us good Americans have to unify with bad Americans? It's just the premise, refusing to recognize the position of the other side is just such a horrible point of departure. if you recognize, you do have to come together.
You know, exactly. That's absolutely right, because even in victory, we have the people surrounding Biden and Michelle Obama being mentioned here, continue to hold half the electorate in contempt. Okay, that's why you have this talk about essentially re-educating a Trump voter. I mean, the lack of recognition that these people have agency, they have their own values, they have their own interests here. There's not a recognition of that. And on top of it, why should Republicans treat Biden any differently than the way the Democrats treated Donald Trump?
They shouldn't.
Yes, exactly. In my opinion, it will be more difficult from Joe Biden than it was for Donald Trump, because the idea that the election was stalled is quite an evidence.
So they can spend the next 4 years talking about how the election was stolen, not talking about anything that really matters, but they probably will and they should call them racist. And they'd be right. No, not him, her. Either one. They call either one of them racist and they'd be right. Like, Biden is racist. Yep, you got the crime bill. You put more brown people in prison than anybody on the planet. Put more brown people in prison than everybody that had a slave boat back in the what was that, the 1600s? Shoot, he put more black people, because so this was funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. So Jive Bowden put more brown people in prison than anybody in world history. I mean, and Donald Trump released more brown people from prison than anybody in world history. And Jive Bowden even put more brown people in slavery than the Corsair pirates in North Africa took white folk, Scottish, Irish, and British into slavery in the 1500s. And this is our hero. But yeah, they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. Not my president, not my president, not my, and they'd be right. Because your president is damn it, where is President Grant? Hold on. I'm trying to get my power charged. I have to find President Grant real quick. Is he still up here somewhere? Cause not my president, not my president. And you'd be right. Because President Grant's still the president. And I think we should dig him up and put him in the, there you go, right there. There go the brother right there. President Grant. Yeah, sir. Respect. And I think that, because you know how laws expire if they're not reappropriated? Isn't that how that works? If the president doesn't reappropriate laws, then they expire. And I think we should put him in the White House permanently. So as the war on drugs come up, as the Invention Secrecy Act of 1951 comes up, as the what is it? Hopefully the Act of 1871 eventually's got to be reauthorized. Maybe they put 100 years on it, 150 years. I don't know how that works. But the president got to vote for it. President Grant, what do you say? Are you gonna vote for it? Because the default is veto. And then we get the conditions we were talking about earlier. Maybe we don't need a president. Maybe you don't need a government. Maybe you are over the age of 10 and you can make your own damn decisions. Maybe you don't have to worry about deregulation if you don't have no criminal crony people working for banks and industries regulating everything so people can't have the freedom and abundance that Japan had in World War II that the United States Incorporated gave to them but refused to give to their own damn citizens. Yes, Lori, that's what I'm talking about. See, you're feeling it. Let's exhume the brother. Let's put him in the office. You know what? No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't, because you can't say, Lori, you say that, somebody gonna do it. And you and me going to prison. You and I, we know that they told me to go do it. You know, United States Incorporated makes a lot of mentally ill people. We saw this just recently in the election. But it's not that much acid in the world to get that man to continue to making speeches where you're not mixing thes with these and thous with thithers and a's and with p's and b. He just was falling all over himself till they gave him something. And then he can get into the debates and talk and stuff. But, you know, we're not going to go there. Yeah, you can't tell nobody digging about that. Because then you're part of the crime. And only the 1% can do crimes. All right, let's see.
No. And, actually, in my opinion, it's the end of the moral predominance of the liberal, not only in the United States, but actually in the world. And, I can compare that with what happened in France with the Yellow Jackets, because Macron...
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Were y'all listening? Is Hogo still here? Talking about France. And you hear, did he say yellow vest? Or did he say yellow jacket? I'm just kidding. Because because I used to go, like the first 30 of my posts, it was when they first started up, we need freedom, viva la France. Ah! I was like, yellow jackets, the yellow jackets stand up, yellow jackets, yellow jackets. We were like, no, dummies, yellow vest. He just said yellow jackets, and they're not the yellow jackets, they're the yellow vests.
Repressed this movement by using something like a bloodshed, but he continues lecturing the rest of the planet about, for instance, Lukashenko in Belarus. So what will happen when Joe Biden, if he's elected? How will he criticize, for instance, I don't know, Belarus or Ukraine or any African country, as long as, in my opinion, there is no evidences that there is a massive fraud in the United States. So it's a complete loss of moral predominance of the West, and especially of the US liberals.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, no, we're not gonna stop there. We're not gonna let you just stop there. No, it's a complete breakdown, morals, common sense, logic, humanism, getting a damn clue of both sides, but mostly the left right now. I'm sorry. Right now, y'all really in ignorant land. Like literally, colonization is going to continue. Mass incarceration is going to get worse. And that's what we're talking about this weekend, right? An empire needs a massive police state. So all of that's going to get worse. You basically traded in somebody. Here's my opinion. It's just my opinion. I don't know how true it is, what I see. I think it's a big club. And Donald Trump was on the outskirts trying to get in, and they wouldn't let him in. That's what I think. That's personally what I think. I think that he was buying time, which is why I did that video this weekend. It's time-ish to go. He wants in the club. He was raised on that. Don't fall for this whole he's fighting for me. He's not. He was raised to think that you are his slave. He's that rich kid up the street. In fact, he was the rich kid who was up the street for a minute, then moved to the gated community. Right? He was the one that you served at the country club. That doesn't mean that he's bad, good, indifferent. Yeah, he could have changed his evil ways. Yes, it's possible for people to change. But based on what I saw, he didn't really do anything different than the left. He did the same thing. He might have had some plans for doing some good stuff. I mean, well, every president does good stuff. Don't get me wrong. They all do good stuff. They all do bad stuff. But the thing is, the presidents aren't the problem. They're not the problem. The problem is the system. The system requires human trafficking. The system requires war. The system requires mass incarceration. It doesn't really matter who you have at the top of it. This is why they called them racist, right? Because they needed to make it an emotional issue, not a real issue. See what I'm saying? Because who's more racist, Donald Trump or Jive Biden? Quick. If you've been doing your homework, you can answer that question really quickly. And everybody's racist. I think that's just how the human brain works. You look at people and you make decisions. Ooh, like I got them. See, that's some racism, discriminatory speciesism right there. I got that fungus gnat. I saw it. My eye said, you know what? This is a threat. This is bad. This is going to get in my bananas. It's going to get in my terrarium to cause some problems. Kill it. Got it. And that's what the human brain does. If you were raised in a community where you didn't like no fruit flies, you'd have killed it. If you were raised in a community and everybody looked like you, you're going to be a little skittish about people who don't. And that's really not really racism. It's more perceptionism. I like how Jamie Foxx said it. Jamie Foxx is a fool. Love you, brother, but you a fool. But that was deep. He said we're just perceptionism and racism. And I think we're all more perceptionisms. That's what I think. I use the word racism, such a strong, ignorant word. We're all perceptionisms, right? Donald Trump didn't have nothing to do with these poor white folk because they were in the way. And he was raised to believe he was better than them. And Jive Biden said it's a good idea to put all these brown kids in prison because I was not raised around them. Didn't he run with Lindsey Graham in them? All right, stop it. So they need to make the debates about emotional things. They can't make them about real things like free energy, freedom, give the land back, love thy neighbor. Don't put thine monkey tissue in thine bloodstream. Don't put thine cannibalistic infant tissue in thine bloodstream. Right? Those are real issues, right? If the left looks out for the right and the right looks out for the left, if people actually come together, then you're actually going to do something. But as long as it's these emotional things of football teams, well, I'm for the Redskins because I got the jersey. I'm for the Cowboys because that's my jersey. Then it's just football. And no, it's not just football. It's literally a football game where millions of children die every year because of this ignorance. The other thing he was saying, I'm gonna jump on real quick. So he's talking about what's happening around the world. Things gonna get worse. Every president, everything gets worse around the world. Maybe get worse for you. That's how apathy works. They'll do a little something for your side, but they'll do more wars, more bombs, more death, more human trafficking, because that's what the banks require in order for fractional reserve banking to continue on. And the new scam will be digital and even worse. So none of that's gonna stop. That's just gonna keep going. Nothing's changed. There's no reason to clap. No reason to clap. Things about to get real dark real soon. So a piece of good news. Well, good news, that's too strong. This is all pretty dark, but it's good. It's all right. Come see, come sa. That's French, right? Come see, come sa. One of my French people tell me. I still remember a little bit of French. Because the thing is that we are privileged enough to live in a time where globally, the global powers, because none of this is local, it's all global powers, are pulling a crisis because they have to fundamentally change the system to stay in power. And we can choose to say no. That is we are the most powerful generation right now. Right? I got it right. Look at that, Jesse Hall. Yes, come see, come saw you. Damn it, I didn't got that right. Look at that. How about that? I'm not ignorant on that, Michael Trace. We can make a shift. There's a reset that's happening. And when the system gets shut down, we can decide, no, we're not going to, the car shut off. It's at the mechanic. This was the example we did a couple months ago. The car's off, it's at the mechanic, it's going to get repaired. You're not going to put a fossil fuel engine back in this damn thing. No. We got electric. We got hydrogen. You got that free energy craft that the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers are flying around. They told your Pentagon to say this is aliens, and it's not. It's them. Freewheeling in the new Corvette. No, you're not going. So, do you see what I'm saying? The car's at the mechanic. We can either agree to put another fossil fuel engine back in it, or we can say, no, you need an open source society. Nope, done with that. Open source society, real solution. Venus Project, real solution. Zeitgeist Movement, real solution. Love thy neighbor, real solution. All these things are real solutions. But keeping a global 0.01% in power because you ignorantly don't like somebody in your country who you don't know, never met, and you want to call them racist, come on, stop it. At this point, it's so obvious. It's like the election fraud. It's so obvious at this point. What else? I feel like I'm stupid because I'm here saying stuff that everybody should know by now. It's all in your face. With the face diaper. It's in your face with the fungus from the face. It's just right there. You can't, you want to be free? All right, act like you want to be free. All right. Did come see, come saw? Yeah, no, come see, come saw. You're damn right too, Lori. Come see, come saw. Do you see it? Do you see it yet? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Some of us will never betray our brothers and sisters. Shoot me in the face for exactly, Bex, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point. Is they are probably going to try something because they're required to try it. And they will try to do another lock. And it's up to us whether we comply or not. It's up to us whether we call the emperor out and say, nope, that's a dang-a-lang. You ain't got no clothes, brother. This is back, it happened at the park down the street. So during the first lockdown, I go to privileged parks. That's just me, what I did. Right? They're cleaner. No Coke bottles, no bicycles on the side of there. Keep it clean. I love this park. Right. This stayed open while all the other parks were closing. You know what happened, Bex, when we got to the deepest, darkest part of the 2-week lockdown, which is probably like a month and a half in? They closed the privilege park. They closed the privilege park. And you know what the privilege people, they said, all right, we give you about a week. We give you about a week for this game, and we're not going to play this game no more. About a week, the park was closed. About a week. And then people said, yeah, no, I'm going to die if I don't get outside, run, get in oxygen, breathe the air, get in the sun. And then people just started lining up for parking tickets. The police got out there. There was 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them. I forgot how many of them. And I was coming into the slavery, and I looked over there. What the hell is that line? And I looked, it's the people lining up to go in the park to get a parking ticket to run around the park. And everybody was lining up because there were only about 4 or 5 slots. So they just put their car there and they would wait for 30, 45, who knows, an hour to go run in the park. You know what they did 2 days later? They released the lockdown. 2 days later, jig is up. The jig is up. Like, it didn't really matter at that point. Because, and that is like a model for how we're supposed to be anyway. Right? A government that has, or a governing corporation that has a bunch of laws that nobody wants, nobody should follow those laws. Isn't that what Martin Luther King said? That to never follow unjust laws. Right? When you comply, when you start going along with injustice, even if it's against your brother, eventually it's going to come back on you. That unjust laws need to be broken, and these aren't even laws, these are just orders and other ignorant stuff. And with the New York stuff, which we'll get back to them in a minute, that's what I thought about this weekend. The New York Bar Association passed the green light to say that they can do forced or mandatory vaccines. I'm okay with that. I was thinking about it. I'm actually okay with that. I'm okay with that. From this perspective, like, I'm not okay with forcing anybody to do anything. That's always wrong. Abuse is always wrong. It doesn't matter your reason, your time, your reasoning, your thought process, or whatever you want to do. Abuse is always wrong. No matter what you think, I'm okay with it because how America is designed. New York is supposed to make laws, and if people don't like it in New York, they're supposed to leave. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Right now, there should be a caravan of people leaving New York like it's a caravan of people in France leaving Paris. Is that caravan still there? Somebody sent me a picture this weekend. People just line up, get the hell out of Paris before it locked down. That's how you let your government know. Hell no. And so, if people in New York say, yeah, okay, now we see what you were doing. We thought that you were just doing this to get the racists out of office. And now we're wearing face diapers because these are advertisements for the pharmaceutical industry to inject me with tissue from other animals that have inactive viruses in that end up creating a new virus in me. Or infant tissue that is literally cannibalism, consuming the flesh, which is what they did in Babylon with the Nephilim before they turned Babylon to it. Then they turned Babylon to a pillar of ice. It was an ice assault. What did they do to Babylon? Somebody tell me, what did they do to Babylon? It wasn't good. It wasn't good. They didn't make sandwiches. They didn't send them fruits and jellies and no, Babylon got destroyed. If you get a caravan of people leaving New York, the state will fall. And that's what you should have. Like, it's a great thing. I think it would be great if 15 states do mandatory, we're going to abuse your rights. We are going to abuse you. And those 15 states end up with just the 2,000 people that think this is a good idea. You know how much the state, in government, all they want is, they're just like us. They just want to keep their jobs. They want the next job. They want to be able to survive. And if they realize, well, wait a minute, did anybody do the math on this yet? Let's say Vermont. Let's say it's Vermont. and like, how many people live in Vermont? Say it's 4 million. Say everybody leaves but 20,000 people. And the government sit there and says, it's okay, we're going to do what we were lobbied to do for the pharmaceutical industry, for the banks, so they can print the money and do the quantitative easing. We got the mandatory vaccines. All right, how many people done left the state? Well, almost everybody. Everybody. How many people left? 20,000. All right, 20,000 people. Okay, what's the taxes? far as salaries and bonuses on 20,000 people. They're doing the numbers. This is where you hit them in your pocket. This is what I'm saying. This is what America is designed to do. So you mean on 20,000 people and the taxes and the tax revenue we get from this, we all going to be fired? We all going to have to leave our jobs? That's about enough money for the janitor, somebody to clean the windows, and the building to have some air conditioning, but nobody can be in government. Yeah, we might have made a mistake. There should be mass exodus out of all these states, right? And that's how you let your government know, that's a dangling. That's dangling. That's what that is. That's a rusty old ashy wrinkled nutsack. No, the emperor ain't got no clothes. Y'all are not pulling this on us. That's what we're supposed to do. You know, the powers that see the thing. Look. It's not an anti-politician thing, right? It is a system. The system is required to try you. You are required to push back. And if you don't push back, it justifies everything that they do. And now we're at the end. Now it's time to push. That's my point. All right. Emperor ain't got no clothes.
You know, Glenn, it seems to me that the left has forgotten what democracy is all about, because for them, democracy is to pursue an ideology. It is not to look for representation. They've moved away from representation. What they want to use the electoral process to enforce, and I use that word specifically, enforce their ideology on the people that dissent from it. And
now this is true, but let's be fair. That's what the right does too. We got to be honest when we say these things. Is the left using the system to abuse people with force and violence? Yes, they are. But that's what the right does too. That's why the problem is the system. It is the system. The harder you pull, the harder they pull, the more we're all trapped in the damn Chinese finger trap. All right? That's how that works. But we got to be fair when we say these things. It's just the left is doing it right now. The right's going to do it next time. And who wins in the end? Corporations.
And that's a form of authoritarianism. So democracy has no value to them. It's a vehicle. That's what it is.
Actually,
it's a vehicle to abuse other people. And so I like what he said right there. It's authoritarianism. So very simple. How do you fight authoritarians on all sides? And even the ones above them in the industries, even the ones above them in the banking system, even the ones above them that might actually be the real aliens, is you walk away from abuse. Anybody who wants to abuse anybody, the answer is no. Power, you get rid of power. You get rid of debt, you get rid of money. You get rid of the things that they give you to act as a clutch on the human race. That's why I have that up there, right? Because that's the example, right? The clutch. Why is a clutch in a car? So you can shift gears. So what are they doing? They're shifting you. They're creating a crisis so they can shift gears, so they continue to govern how fast the car goes. The human being on a planet with a sun and gravity and his creative mind and her creative mind is an infinite RPM engine. Nothing should be governing us back. We are probably 20,000 years behind where we would be in technology if we didn't have these governing systems, if we didn't have these chokes in our creativity, chokes in the ability to own or if not steward the land, grow your own food, experience your own freedoms. I mean, you know how productive a man can be who lives on his own land with her and she's happy because she don't have to go to work? Do you know what it does for a man when she never has headaches, when she's never tired, when her feet don't hurt? Do you know how that man be making all kind of cotton gins and cars and steam engines and gasifiers and new solar panels and free energy devices, electromagnetic? Happy men do happy things. And there's a good saying that goes with that. It's happy wife, happy planet. Happy wife, happy life. That's all men want, to get some. That's all they want. I'm going to tell you, I'm not here to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's all men want. You know, just get some. Not some specifically the one that's in the mind and the things. That's all it is. Women run the planet. I keep telling you, y'all don't listen to me. Women run this. Wars are started for women. Look, I'm gonna tell you how the political system works. Look. What if every woman right now stood up and said, you know what, you go out there and pull that voting election for these criminal, demon, psychopathic Beelzebubs. If you pull that lever, and girlfriends too, you pull that lever, you engage in ritualistic actions, which is what it is, for a global cult on a planet that I'm creating life to leave here, you ain't gonna get none. Tell me how many people gonna vote. What's gonna happen to it? Didn't they say like 70 million people voted in America on each side? Everybody who votes at that point in time would be a eunuch. and it's not like a gender thing either, because it's two brothers live together. I'm fine with that. LGBTQ, A, B, C, elemental, P, and mermaids. I'm good with all of that. I don't care what anybody's doing. As long as everybody's consenting, I'm good to go. Just somebody take up that feminine energy and say, you know what? You ain't getting this. That's all we want, is to be happy, people. Do you see what I'm saying with that? Am I crazy? Is it just me? Women can stop this right now. They can say, nope, block. It'll all be over. It'll all be over. And men would study war no more.
Okay,
tell me I'm a lie.
The democracy in the United States, it's when the Democrats win the election.
Well, you're right. Well, the democracy is a system where the process is more important than the outcome. And again, in this case, you can actually see that unification of the United States would, to a large extent, rely on the democratic process. So, for example, now the dispute is whether or not there were election irregularities. Now, the United States has democratic mechanisms in place for this. That is, if there are reasons to believe that there are irregularities, then these are assessed and looked into, and it's even proven to be the case or not to be the case. However, what you see now is probably the Democrats, well, they have already decided that there are no irregularities. This is fake news. So if there are irregularities, will they really accept that this existed? And on the other side of the coin, with the Republicans, if there shows that no, actually it wasn't any major irregularities, at least not enough to swing the election, will they still feel that the election was stolen? So again, this commitment, the end result, this reluctance to accept that the democratic process should be held above the outcome, it's very much absent. And this is very much due to the idea that both sides now see that the other one is not merely a political opposition seeking a different path for the country. Both sides are seeing the other side as attempting to ruin the country. And so again, the Democrats looking at the Republicans, they're just essentially want to remake America as a fascist country, which is based on some strange assumptions. And then you have the Republicans looking at the Democrats now, who are arguing that, I would say more evidence behind it, that they want to uproot a lot of the institutions, because under the premise that America is a systemically racist country, you really have to dig up all the roots to cleanse it of its horrible history and origin. And it's just the democratic process essentially rots away in this system, in this mentality.
Exactly. There's talk of a truth and reconciliation process like there was in South Africa for people that were in Trump's orbit. I mean, we have General Flynn, we have other people that have been subject to this. That's quite terrifying. It sounds like the Stasi to me, that they want to cleanse the body politic of these impure thoughts. Again, this has nothing to do with democracy. It is about the promotion of an ideology that is alien to half the country. Xavier.
Actually, it's ultra left. Ocasio-Cortez, they just want to make a list like the Bolshevik during the Russian Revolution, and sending people to jail to punish them. For instance, if you gave to the Donald Trump's campaign $40 or $100, you will be punished. You will be on a list. In my opinion, it's typically of the ultra-left usual activities, not only in the United States, but even in France. It's always the same. And the point, what was underlined by Donald Trump during the campaign, that Biden wants control is the left, is completely true. because, and secondly, in my opinion, Biden is not able to manage the country during the next the next 4 years. So the vice president will be the real president, and she's a neutral left. She will be a neutral vice president.
I think betraying her is a hard leftist. You can make that case, but let me go to Glenn right now. I see her as the quintessential status quo candidate, politician. I mean, it's no surprise that when she was picked, the stock market went up because she's going to do their bidding, just like Obama did. And so what I see here, we're rapidly running out of time here, is that the progressive element of the Democratic Party, they're going to remind them that they're around too, okay? And what we're going to see here with this quote unquote victory is the beginning of a civil war within the Democratic Party, possibly in the Republican. 20 seconds, Glenn, go ahead before we go to the break.
I agree. I would like to point out that the Democratic Party are not unified. Biden's entire election platform was get Biden out, now get Trump out of the office, and remember to wear masks. Now, if this is the main election platform, it also reflects that there was a lot of divisions within the Democratic Party. I mean, Biden,
we're going to go to a break here, and after that short break, we'll continue our discussion on some real news. Stay.
Bask in the warm glow of winter lights with Cadillac during the season's best sales event and shine your brightest with the fresh new lineup of Cadillac vehicles. So shop now and light up your nights with the luxury of Cadillac.
Get 0% APR for 72 months plus $500 purchase allowance on a 2021 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and
Welcome back to CrossTalk, where all things are considered. I'm Peter LaBelle. To remind you, we're discussing some real news. Okay, let's go to Xavier. Xavier, let's talk about what's going on in France and other parts of Europe here when we have the French president declaring there must be an end to Muslim Islamic separatism. It's very interesting coming from the quintessential neoliberal of Europe talking about this. I mean, I was really quite shocked. What it tells me is that this neoliberal ideology doesn't understand what it's doing. As a matter of fact, it's tearing the fabric of societies apart all across Europe. And they suddenly say, oh, this is terrible. It's quite extraordinary. Let me read to you some coming from a French Institute of Public Opinion, which you probably know very well. Last week they said the majority of Muslims under the age of 25, 57%, believe Islamic law to be more important than French law in France, an increase of 10% since 2016. So this has been going on for a while, but all of a sudden the French president has an opinion about it. Go ahead.
Actually, in my opinion, it's again Macron's trick, because actually Islamism in France is a part of a more global problem, which is immigration. For the last 45 years.
I love how it all fits together. Oh my God, I have so many notes right here I want to talk to y'all about. I might have to stop here because now they're talking about, it's just weird. It's weird. It's just so weird we live in the days that we do, because the people that cause the problems are now complaining about the problems that they cause. In so many ways. It's like, how to get rid of Muslim extremists? I don't know. How did you get rid of the American extremists? The ones who actually took a country. Right. So you don't have Muslim extremists when you don't blow up Muslim countries. Hello. You know how easy that is? It's not that easy, because it means you need to stop fighting for either your left or your right colonizers. No difference. France is in it too. They got the same political problems as America. That's why they need to vive la France, RIC, direct democracy, something, anything but the current system. If you blow up nations people live in, those people get upset. That does not make them terrorists. That makes you stupid. If you keep voting for a government that blows up nations, that sends people to your borders because the money and the banking system that you give them after you blow their country up comes from your country, they come to your country. You know why that is? Because when they look at the money and the power, and they go to every work slavery like I do every damn day, and they see that your queen is on their money, and that's where power is, and they need more of that, that's where they go for the money. And that's why they immigrate. It's a weird thing. If you don't blow up people's countries, they don't immigrate to your country. You want to solve immigration? Stop blowing up their countries. We dealt with this with Honduras and Central America, all the rest of these countries. We blow up their countries. The whole Confessions of the Economic Hitman stuff, if you hadn't read the book, please read the book. Then they come to your country. Immigration is not a problem, it's a project. Immigration is not a problem, it is a project, because we keep voting for these criminal colonizer systems. Y'all want to hear him talk about France, or y'all can go through my notes real quick. Tell me if you want to hear him talk about France, where I can wrap this up, get the hell out of here. What did he say? He said they think each other want to ruin the country, right? And this is just stupid. It's just ignorant. Do you think that people want to doo-doo where they eat? It's the concept. That's what politics in America is right now. It's this concept that other people want to doo-doo in their own lawn and not clean it up. No, nobody's trying to ruin the country. They're all trying to fix the country. Both ignorant sides want the same outcome. They're just sold different stories by banks, corporations, and industries to get them to fight each other so they don't get to the end point they want to get to. That's all it is. So no, nobody wants to ruin the left, doesn't want to ruin the country, right doesn't want to ruin the country. They're limited in information, and that's why they sit where they do. Oh, that's my son. He just showed up. That's the one that's giving me a grandchild, damn it. Hey, your mama text me. You got me in trouble, by the way. You waited so damn long to tell your mama that you. Nah, you didn't get me in trouble. I can't get in trouble, brother. I'm out. I actually gave you credit, and I said, yeah, they beat us because we had him a year earlier than what they have in theirs. Anyway, systematic racism. Oh yeah. And this is a fun one. If you haven't read the book, Michelle Alexander, Jim Crow Joe, the book that outlined that this man created Jim Crow, put more people in prison by reinventing Jim Crow than anybody on the planet that y'all just made the president. President Grant, sir. Why in the world would you fight systemic racism in a country that everybody's held up on systemic genocide of entire nations of people? Explain that to me. Like Yemen right now, it's a good example. Yemen, Congo, Colombia, Venezuela, all of Central and Latin America. This country literally is propped up on systemic genocide, like all the other NATO allies of other lands. You know how arrogant and ignorant you'd have to be to fight systemic racism in a country that gives you the air, the food, the water, your lights, your car, your banana, everything that you own. Chiquita banana. Everything that you own comes from systemic genocide of other cultures. It's just crazy. It's crazy. No, I ain't be no damn grandpa. Put that out. Nope. I might be Pop or something. I might be something. I ain't gonna be no damn grandpa. Anyway, let me finish. Because babies is the best babies is baby. There's always good news. A new spiritual energy wave creature thing coming to this planet, and I'm gonna do my best to infect that child. The same way I infected my son. I already apologized to him. You know why I apologized to him? Because I raised him he was my first. I raised him as a black man. That was the dumbest, ignorant, most stupid thing I could do. But I didn't know any better, right? That's where I was. That's where I was resonating. I had the Malcolm X short. I had the dashiki. I had the African medallion. That's just where I was. I went to the traditionally black college. That's where I was at. And I apologized to him later. And I said, yeah, I raised you as a black man. That was a mistake. You're not a black man. You're a god. You were here to do amazing things for other people, being unique. A electric, vibrational, soul wave energy creature having a human experience. There's nothing black about you. There's nothing American about you. There's nothing Democrat about you. There's nothing Pennsylvania about you. Well, he was in Maryland at the time. That's that child that came from the cornfield. He came from I tell you, is he still here? He probably left. I embarrass people. He came from the cornfield. It was on the top of the Nissan 300ZX, but that's a whole nother long story. Like, he's old enough to hear that story. That's where you came from, son. He's driving back from New York, dark, tired, you know, you looking over at each other. You ain't thinking about making a baby, but it just kind of happens. Anyway, what were we talking about? Right. So, no. Once again, children are perfect. All right? They're perfect. A spiritual creature coming to this ignorant, foul, funky central bank controlled slave colony that's got clutches and chokes on the human race so it can't become what it needs to. That is a very, 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 very remedial spiritual creature. I'm not coming back. This is my last time. If I get a choice, I ain't never coming back here. Y'all got Earth. I'm not doing this one again. But if something chooses to come here, it's amazing. Children need to be born new. Let them be born perfect. You understand what I'm saying? When kids are born, don't give them your ignorant problems. Hear what I'm saying? When a child is born, don't tell the child they're Irish. They ain't Irish. They ain't Irish. You might be Irish. They ain't Irish. They're not black. They're not African American. They're not American. They are a neutral creature that's born on this planet that's waiting for you to tell them the truth. That you don't know what the hell they are, and you don't even know why they're here. You're supposed to give them all the information you have in your brain and tell them that you are not smarter, you are not more intelligent, you just got here first. And I got here, everybody had to pick a team, so I picked Irish. Everybody's picking teams, so my parents picked black for me. Right? You are a god, you are a goddess. You don't tell gods and goddesses what they are. They tell you. You tell that child, I don't know what you are. You're beautiful. I need to raise you, give you everything I can, food, oxygen, water, freedom, not a face diaper, and you become something. And then you tell the world what you are. You tell the world why you're here. That's what a child is supposed to be raised as. Not no ignorant, bigoted, indoctrinated creature created from races that kings and lords created. All right? I already ruined him. So I think I ruined him for the black race. So, well, I tell you, that's my kids that get an uncle so much trouble. All right, there we go. Because the uncles is black. All right, anyway, we stop. Criminalizing, what's it? Oh, no, we didn't talk about what's happening in New York. So, recapping from yesterday. So, what they're basically doing is they're criminalizing people who have not been vaccinated by a corporation's product. The next war on drugs, the next war on terror, the next police state. They're increasing the police state. You're out there fighting. The police got trouble with the police and the laws, and they're actually creating a new crime that's going to make millions of people criminals. Why? Because they need bodies in cells. They need to control the population. This is a police state. You don't have trouble with police. You got ignorant politicians that continue to write laws to make profit from the problem with your rights. And the people don't like it. So everybody's a criminal, so they can fill them prisons with the private prisons. So you literally are creating a whole new Jim Crow black code, except for now, unvaccinated people are the criminals. That's the world we're moving into, starting with New York, coming to a state near you. Except for in the states where they know that the people ain't gonna go for it. They're only gonna do what they know they can get away with. All right. The stock market went up when Kamala was picked. I found that to be interesting. He said that too, and that's true. It's a good thing too. But understand this, because they knew Kamala was going to be good for profit, greed to 0.01%. She was a DA with no ethics that would keep poor people, innocent people in prison as long as possible because that's what her job was. That means she'll do her job. That means she's a yes woman. She'll do anything that the industry tells her to. So of course the stock market went up. And if you think Trump is a no guy, then something is wrong with you, because Trump did the same thing. When Trump was elected, the stock market went up. Why? They say, oh, because he's a businessman. He knows how to run a business. Like, no, he's a yes man. That man wants to be a billionaire again. He's gonna do whatever he can to become. They might be good people, but that's not what the job is. You can be a good person. I was a good person when I worked in the pharmaceutical industry. There you go. I was a good person when I worked for government. There you go. I was a good person. I think I was a good person. I was a good person when I worked in the chemical industry. You know, I worked for lawn care services. I did the IT systems. Yeah, I did all of that. Poisoning the land, ecosystem, genocide with chemicals being sprayed on your lawn so you can't even grow a garden and feed anybody. Your kids run in the grass to get carcinogens on their feet. So now their white blood cells got to fight all the carcinogens on their feet and in their bloodstream. Can't deal with the flu. So when the flu comes through, the common cold, which is actually what it is, it ends up killing a bunch of people. I think I was a good person, but that's not the job. Don't ever mistake somebody being a good person with what the job is. That's why I'm not worried about the Kamala. I'm not worried about the Biden. I'm not worried about the Trump. I don't care about the Pence. The Obama's insignificant with the, well, Biden was his running mate or whatever, and all the rest of it. The job is enslavement. The job is funneling the wealth to an increasingly growing 0.01% because they having babies too. They're having babies too. And 17 trillion ain't enough for the Rockefellers and Rothschilds. You need to work harder. You need to work harder. And that's why I said that's my definition of government. It's a supremacist group that creates laws that make me work harder and more efficient so I can live, which takes the food out of babies who are less privileged than what I am, who has parents that are less efficient as I am, who have parents who aren't as privileged as I am. They weren't given a computer at the age of 7, couldn't work for the pharmaceutical industry. And to me, that's not a government, that's a slave plantation. Anyway, I'm gonna read comments, then I gotta go. Got to go, clutch earth. So do you understand that example? I'll post a link for the documentary on central banking, but it's only for people who give a damn. It's only for people who actually want to know how the world works. It was an hour and a half. It's an hour and a half documentary about what the central banks did in Japan after World War II, all under the authority of the United States Incorporated. That is how they control us, is through debt. All right, let me change the music. We'll do comments. I'm gonna roll. So we have a clutch on us. Gotta take the clutches off. It's time to light the fires and kick the tires. Let the human race free. Human beings are creators, they are innovators. We have to let them go back to creating and innovating. We don't need banking systems. We don't need money. We have 3D printers. We have automation. When they did this in 1913 and 1933, we didn't have the automation, so we had to go for the central banking scam. We don't have to do it anymore. We can free the human race and let all these little human beings, spirits that come here to live a free life, go live a free life, and let the robots and the automation do the heavy work, so human beings can go do important work. What is your important work? I have no damn idea. Jack Hall, I have no idea what he's supposed to be doing. Right? I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be working with those to create automated systems that print houses and grow his food, clean his water, so Jack Hall can go do the important things as a spiritual creature he is and what he was sent here to do. Not go to kindergarten and get an indoctrination called an education and choose one of 20,000 different slave plantation companies or industries to go work for. Right? What's the point? You know, I'm about to make a quote, Jack. I don't know if it's gonna work. Not in The Patriot, the movie. He said, why in the world would we trade one king 3,000 miles away for 300 kings 1 mile away? I'm gonna try to put that quote in there, Jack. Why would we trade one plantation master 100 feet away for 20,000 plantation masters on Wall Street? Why would we do that? Why would we do such an evil thing to our next generation? All right. Yes, so heavily. I think that worked. Did that work, y'all? I think that worked. That's why I do this live. This is a discussion. Weekend is short to the point. That's how this is forming up. Weekend is short to the point. During the week is just a long discussion of commentary, trying to figure things out. Grandpa Kenyatta. Nope, wrong. Beaufont. Fact check that, somebody, please. It's not true now, and it ain't gonna be true in the future. I'm always gonna be 29. 29. We have a fun name. I don't know what my name gonna be yet. Should have arrived. Wait a minute. Should have raised him as a kangaroo. Yeah, you know what, Beaufont? The world would be better if all the human beings were raised as kangaroos. Kangaroos are sustainable. Kangaroos are sustainable. Kangaroos, they got stomachs. They don't have bank accounts. Kangaroos, they will only eat as much as they can eat, and that's it. They will not rob and steal. Well, that's not true. That's fake news. I mean, fact check. Kangaroos got a pouch. Do they put food in that pouch? They got a stomach and a pouch still. They have limits onto the amount of what their greed can be. Human beings with bank accounts, no limit on that greed. I believe in your freedom, and I believe in yours, Jack, and that's how we got to get down. Goonies assemble. Brother Matthew ain't never said nothing but the truth. That's how we got to get down. We got to get down with the Goonies. We got to go find somebody ugly in the basement and go find the gold in a ship in a mountain somewhere and work together. All right. I've never known that Gerard had an African ancestry unless I saw him. Well, there you go, Miss True. Good to hear. I'm not sure if that what you trying to say? Well, I guess that's a compliment. It's a whole bunch of stuff in there, Miss True. It's African, British, Cherokee, and Papua New Guinea. If that's the one, I keep forgetting Papua New Guinea. It's just weird. Like the boats coming here, and I guess they stopped and decided to have some fun. Like, oh, we can grab some other people. Papua New Guinea. All right. Just me and my babies, Gerard. The pouches for the Joes. And that's how we have to get down, Marianne. People, when you have infinite, that's why they give us bank accounts. Because with an infinite bank account, you can have infinite greed. With a limited bank account, you can only have limited greed. The human race was broken finally for the last time when they had infinite bank accounts to try to be like the Joneses. Don't try to be like the Joneses. Live within your own means. You got a stomach, just fill it up, then fill everybody else's stomach. That's how we free the human race. We stop being criminals, we stop being consumers, we stop trying to put the entire planet in a bank account, which is what your 1% wants to do. Eat the rich. You only just eat your meal. Don't worry about eating the rich. Eat your meal, feed your children, and feed the kids next door. That's who we need to be. Narcissistic people believe in the state's lie. Yes, they do, Jack, which is why I like to make this post about I think this thing. The second to the last war is going to be the human race against the statists. Right? Those left and the right, the consumers, those who believe in the black market, Wall Street, those who believe in picking a side of the cult to defend and fight for. So the second to the last war is going to be the human beings, the sovereigns, because you are sovereign, against those who believe in the state. That war not one shot might be fired if people grow up and become informed and realize they are sovereign, not states and kings and criminals, because they have more jewels, more money and gold. And the last war is going to be the sovereigns versus corporations and their minions. And then war will be no more. That's going to be the end. Because at that point, the human beings will be the sovereigns on this planet. They won't have any systems keeping them as slaves. And that's going to be the last war. Guys, give me an offer. I can't refuse, please. Lori, don't ever say that to men. That must be an old common way of don't ever say that to men. That's what's wrong with the world now. All right. Oh, there go Jennifer. James and I like the name Sebastian for a boy. Sebastian. Oh, let me chew on that. Can I chew on that, Jennifer? Can I chew Sebastian? I got to chew on that. Do I get a say? Jennifer, you don't get a say, bro. If I get a say, I'm gonna say chew on. Cause Sebi said, oh, actually I like Sebastian. Cause if he's a doctor, I can call him Dr. Sebi. That could work. Hang on, yeah. Let's put a thumb in that. Jennifer and James probably sitting back and like, yeah, bro, it's no thumb. You ain't got no pens to put in. It's not your decision. Cause that is my son. All right. Most defiant son I have. That's how he takes after me. He's defiant. He doesn't do authority at all. All right. Yes, my dad was a union man too when they striked in Poland, Liverpool, went out to the solidarity, the simplest form of every individual. Oh, that's beautiful, Bex. Yes, we need to raise rebels and sovereigns. Absolutely. Lori Root Riley, go G team. Jack, there's no G team. Ain't no G in the team. It's just a team. You got a human race. That's all you got. Don't get me killed. Just make sure it's not Hillary and Harris. Lori, doesn't matter who it is. It does not matter who is in government of a cult. It's going to be a cult activity. Doesn't matter, it's the same thing. If our money comes from taking children from their parents, and war and making a police state, doesn't matter who's in power. It's up to the people to stand up. Anybody in government that stands up is a fool. I understand Kamala, it's just a job. I understand Job and Biden, it's just a job. I don't understand us. We're the ones who support them. And once again, every tyrant that has to be fought is a person who had no power that others could have just walked away from. We have to walk away from anybody using abuse as a tool. All right, it's not gender's integrity. All right, there you go. This is Gerard. Y'all have a wonderful, 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 wonderful